Everyone in that building thought they were saving the right person. That's the trick Netflix's Elite Force plays on its audience, and honestly, on its own characters too. By the time the smoke clears, one woman is dead, one man's entire family history is cracked open, and the team that's supposed to be the best in France never even saw the real threat coming. If you just finished this one and you're sitting there stunned, let's break down exactly what happened, and why that ending hits so much harder once you understand what was really going on underneath it. Elite Force, known in its home country as GIGN, follows France's real-life elite tactical intervention unit through a season that starts as a straightforward hostage thriller and slowly turns into something much more personal. At the center of it is David, a veteran officer getting ready to walk away from field work for good. But then his past shows up right on schedule, and it drags his entire team into a nightmare that's been building for 15 years. The story actually opens in the present, with David preparing for retirement after decades on the front lines. He's respected, a little haunted, and clearly carrying something he's never fully talked about. Early on, we learn his unit suffers a brutal, unexpected attack, and that single event is what pulls David back into the field for one final mission instead of letting him walk away quietly. As the season unfolds, the show keeps cutting back 15 years, to a hostage crisis at a weapons testing facility. A disgruntled employee named Victor took 21 people hostage, trying to expose the fact that the lab was secretly producing an illegal, devastating explosive compound. Among those hostages were Alexis, the lab's director, Amal, a warrant officer, and Lena, their young daughter. During that standoff, Amal managed to get hold of a weapon and shot Victor, but she was badly wounded in the process. While medics worked on her, David and his partner Laurent went searching through the facility for Lena. But then, everything changes. That rescue attempt 15 years ago doesn't go the way David remembers, or at least, not the way he's told himself it went. Laurent doesn't make it out. For years, David has believed Laurent sacrificed himself so David could survive and go on to raise Laurent's son, Max, as if he were his own. Here's the surprising part, that's only half the truth. In the present timeline, David discovers Max is actually his biological son, not Laurent's. That single revelation rewrites everything Max thought he knew about his own family, and it completely destabilizes him right as the teen needs him most. Once you know that twist, small details from earlier episodes hit differently. The tension between David and Max, the way certain characters avoid eye contact during old case discussions, the guilt David carries that never quite gets explained until later. The show plants these threads carefully, so the emotional gut punch of the reveal feels earned instead of random. There's another clue hiding in plain sight the whole season, Amal. She's treated as a background casualty from that lab siege years ago, someone the story seems to have quietly moved past. That's exactly what the show wants you to think. The biggest twist comes next, and it's the one that defines the entire finale. Amal is alive. She survived that day 15 years ago, watched her daughter Lena die in the aftermath, and has spent every year since blaming David for it. In the final episode, she resurfaces and takes David's daughter, Manon, hostage inside her music school, with explosives rigged throughout the building. Every instinct the GIGN team has trained for tells them the danger is inside that school, so the entire unit converges there to save Manon. And here's where the show pulls the rug out. The explosive strapped to Manon is fake. It was never about her. While David and his team are risking everything inside that building, the real bomb detonates outside, under the family car, and it kills David's wife, Jess. David does save his daughter. That part of the mission succeeds. But it costs him the one person Amal was actually targeting all along, and he never sees it coming until it's too late. Underneath the tactical thriller surface, Elite Force is really about how violence never stays in the past. Amal and David were shaped by the exact same belief system, that loyalty means obedience, and that force is the only language that gets results. Amal's revenge isn't random cruelty. It's the direct, twisted product of an institution that let her pain go unaddressed for 15 years. David's real victory in the finale isn't a gunfight. It's the fact that he finally stops hiding the truth about Max's parentage, refusing to let another buried secret keep poisoning the people he loves. The show seems to be arguing that doing the right thing doesn't erase the damage already done. It just stops the cycle from repeating. It's worth mentioning this hasn't been officially confirmed, but a lot of viewers online believe Amal's storyline was deliberately left open because the writers are setting up a second season built around the fallout at GIGN itself, specifically an internal reckoning over how her warnings and trauma were ignored for over a decade. Again, that's a fan theory at this stage, not confirmed information. What makes this ending work for me is that nobody really wins. David gets his daughter back but loses his wife. Max gets the truth but only after it's already reshaped everything. Amal accomplishes her revenge but dies believing it. It's a genuinely bleak, mature way to close out a season, and it trusts the audience to sit with that discomfort instead of wrapping things up with a bow. So now it's your turn. What do you think the ending really meant? Let me know in the comments.